the lustral water over the hands, and His Majesty anoint himself with those waters, considered as a complete procedure for His Majesty to become the fully vested king. But as time progressed, having been exposed to the Western culture, added the putting on the crown, or the great crown of victory, on the head of His Majesty would also be considered as the Western culture, and so he has adopted it and added that tradition into the Thai tradition to make it more westernized. And hence it's considered also that after the pouring of the lustral water over the hands and put on the great crown of victory, then the process of becoming the fully vested monarch of the country is complete. And as soon as that process is completed, the artillery guns will fire the salute to mark the occasion. And outside the main building, we also have the senior officials from various government offices and their spouses present as well.
As you can see that the yellow is a color, is considered as auspicious color here, as it signifies the Monday, when the day when His Majesty was born. In Thailand, we believe that yellow represents Monday, and also the government encouraged the people to wear yellow to show our love and respect to our beloved king. And as for the preparations prior to the coronation of His Majesty King Rama X today, there was a gathering of waters from 108 sources across the country to be consecrated before being used for the lustral water in the purification or the ablution and the anointment ceremonies. Then the pedestals and stages were prepared for the setting up of the water of ablution and the sacred water of anointment ceremonies for the presentations of the king. Then the royal golden plaque with the inscriptions of the king's official titles and the royal golden plaques of his royal horoscope, as well as the royal seal of state, were made and then transferred from the temples of the Emerald Buddha to Paisan Thaksin Throne Hall as part of the Grand Palace compound. And then the primary royal ceremonies of King Rama X were of the chanting of prayers by monks, the arrangement of sacred water within the circle of holy thread, and the lighting of auspicious candles, as the king yesterday graciously arrived to pay homage to Emerald Buddhas and his royal ancestors. Today we are waiting for the royal motorcade of His Majesty the King to arrive to proceed from Amarintara Vinichai Throne Hall to Paisan Thaksin Throne Hall and pay respect to the Triple Gems, His Holiness the Supreme Patriarch of Thailand, Somdet Pha Ariya Wongsa Khattayan, to lead the prayers. Then the chief Brahmin, priest of the royal court, humbly invite His Majesty the King to proceed and prepare for the purification or Song Phamuratha Pisek, when His Majesty will sit in the Untitled Chapter Raja Asana throne at the pavilion constructed for the purification ceremony. Then the presiding official as Chief Marshal Satipong Sukwimon, the Lord Chamberlain, humbly asked for the permission to turn on the shower, sending water of purification over His Majesty for the ablution. This is the water of Benja Sutakongka from 5 rivers and 4 ponds. After that, the Supreme Patriarch of Thailand, Somdet Pa Ariya Wongsa Katayan, will come forth to bestow benedictions by sprinkling Buddhist lustral water onto His Majesty the King's back. Then present Buddhist lustral water into the hands of His Majesty. And this to be followed by the sequence from His Serene Highness Prince Pusan Sawadiwat to humbling offer holy water from Patao Benja cup or the water vessel into His Majesty's hand. Then His Serene Highness Prince Julajem Yukon to humbly offer lustral water from Patao Navakra or the another water vessel to His Majesty, followed by Chief Brahmin Priest of the Royal Court, Pamaharachaku Piti Si Visutikun, to present holy water from the 9 deities to His Majesty, from Patao Benjakap another water vessels. After that, the Chief Brahmin to present His Majesty with the holy water from the great conch shell, Pet Yai, and from the great conch shell, Pet Noi. Chief Brahmin then present lustral water from the water vessel. Later on, His Majesty will be presented with the bay leaf, which he will put behind his ears. And during the ceremonial procedure, while monks chant prayers of benediction, officials will play music from conch shells with music from a bugle, brass, drums, and a Thai musical ensemble. After this purification ceremony, His Majesty King will graciously proceed to Surarai Piman Chapel before he perform another ceremony which is called the anointment or the offering the abhisek water from the 8 representative of the 8 cardinal direction of the compass at the Atatit Utumpon Raja Asana throne.
That's right, and Kun Rungtip touched upon the importance of bale leaf. I'd like to draw your attention to the significance why the bale leaf is being used in this royal ceremony. According to the Brahmin faith, bale leaf is a symbol of victorious strength and an auspicious item to accompany the sacred water of a Buddhist religious ceremony. The lustral water is contained within the conch shell to be presented to a king, befitting to the royal traditions. At present, the king presents bale leaves during auspicious royal ceremonies, such as during the royal ploughing ceremony, when the monarchy graciously pours sacred water from a conch shell upon the offers bale leaves to the Lord of the ploughing. And of course, the other ceremonies of importance are for the brides and grooms during their marriage, who are granted official wedding. The ceremonies in presence of the monarch, bale leaves are also used as an auspicious item to put on between their right ear as the symbol of fortune and prosperity. And now the person who receives the bale leaves here will use his right hand to receive the bale leaf and tuck them between the right earlobe and the temple. So this is a illustrious and very auspicious activity or event that will take place of putting the bale leaf between the right earlobe and the temple to bless the person who receives it with victory and strength, and to mark the auspiciousness or the auspices of the occasion.
And now we are seeing the beautiful pictures of the central area of the Grand Palace, which was built first from the King Rama I. In the Chakri dynasty, we know that Chakri dynasty, which is the present dynasty of Thailand, represented by an emblem consisting of chakra and three-pronged weapon or Trai. Every year during April the 6th we celebrate the anniversary of the founding of the present Chakri dynasty, of which the present ruling monarch. Chakri dynasty was founded by King Rama I in 1737 with the name of Thongduong, and he came to the throne on April the 6th, 1782. King Rama I ruled the country for 28 years. King Rama I has been praised as an accomplished statesman, a lawmaker, a poet, and his reign has been called a reconstruction of the Thai state and Thai culture. He was the monarch who established Bangkok as the capital of Thailand, and this is the most long-lasting creation, which gained popularity as the City of Angels that we know. This is another name of Bangkok. After then, the Chakri dynasty carried on, and now we have today that we are witnessing another auspicious occasion of the coronation of King Rama X. This is May the 4th, which is today, is the most important parts of the coronation of King Rama X. In a moment, the king will arrive to perform the purification or the ablution, or in Thai is called Song Pramurata Pisek, and followed by the anointment ceremony or the offering of the Abhisek water from the 8 representatives asana throne and presentation.
Right, so we are now looking at Pratinang Chakri Mahaprasad, a very beautifully looking building here with the Thai roofing, the Thai architecture roofing, and having the main structure or the lower part of the building in the Western style, in the 19th century Western architecture. And this Pratinang Chakri Mahaprasad is situated on the northernmost part of the Pratinang Chakri group. This is a part of the Chakri Mahaprasad group of buildings. Now this building is the throne hall, which forms the front or the facade of the entire building group. In front of the throne hall is Rathakit Field. Now His Majesty the King arrives.
ยกอกอึ๊บ มัจยัมพันเตวิสุงรักนัทธายาติสรเนนะสหะปัญจศีลานิยาจามาตุติยามปิมะยังพันเตวิสุงรักนัทธายาติสรเนนะสหะปัญจศีลานิยาจามาตติยัมปิมะยังพันเตวิสุงรักนัทธายาติสรเนนะสหะปัญจศีลานิยาจามา
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิทุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิทุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิทุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ ทินนาทานาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอามิสุมิจฉาจาราเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยมัชฌะปมาทฐานาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอิมานิปัญจสิกขาปทานิสีเรนะสุขติงยันติสีเรนะภูกสัมปทาสีเรนะนิพุติงยันติตัตมาสีรังวิโสทะเย
The Buddhist monks chanting at the beginning of that ceremony, and this is going to be the symbolic ascension to the throne, where the king will be bathed in sacred waters that have been collected from all over Thailand. That process started a month ago. We saw it up in Chiang Rai, the northernmost province, a very elaborate ceremony where the water was collected from a sacred well. That's happened all over the country. Those sacred waters now collected in an urn. The king will be bathed in those waters, and that, as was explained to me a few days ago by one of the state councillors, is the actual point at which he becomes king, or he symbolically ascends to the throne. Unlike the putting of the crown upon the head in Western countries, this is a country where water is much more significant and symbolic. After that, there are going to be ceremonies where items of royal regalia will be handed to the king, such as a scepter, a royal umbrella, and a crown placed upon his head. And then there will be various ceremonies around the Grand Palace. That's the area just behind me. And it's going to be, today is going to be by far and away the most important day of this 3-day ceremony, but it'll be conducted much more privately. Later on today, the king will meet representatives of foreign dignitaries, and then on Saturday and Sunday, there will be more public processions where ordinary Thai people will get the opportunity to meet their new king.
Temple.
Well, it's slightly awkward because there hasn't been an awful lot of discussion within Thailand about the ascension of King Vajiralongkorn to the throne, and that is in part due to the very strict lèse-majesté laws that are still enforced here. And those are laws which mean that any perceived criticism of the king or the close members of the royal family can be punished with up to 30 years in jail. Now, until relatively recently, those laws were not being enforced, but they are frequently now. We've seen quite a number of people being sent to jail for long jail terms for criticism. And so I think it's been a rather muted feel in recent years, and that was very much a tool that's been used by the military junta since the coup. That said, I think a lot of ordinary Thai people are very intrigued by what's going on. This is a process that hasn't happened for 70 years. So a lot of these ceremonies that we're seeing today are very alien to people, but they're also quite fascinated by it. A lot of people also wearing yellow shirts as a symbol of support for their new king. Yellow, of course, being the royal colour here. So we're seeing a lot of people around Bangkok wearing yellow. But it has to be said, Bangkok today has a rather muted feel about it. A lot of the centre of the city has been closed off to traffic because of the ceremonies, and I think people just using the opportunity of the long weekend to get away for a little break. It is also incredibly hot today. The temperature at the moment, I think about 38 degrees in the sun, very high humidity. And for a lot of those guards standing outside the Grand Palace with their enormous bearskin hats, it's going to be a very trying day indeed.
we have the Brahmin priests now taking part, as well as the Buddhist monks in this ceremony.
Here are the members of the royal families. Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn, Her Royal Highness Princess Pacharakitiyapha, Her Royal Highness Princess Siriwannavari Nadirat, as the Chief Brahmin Priest of the Royal Court, Pamaharachaku Piti Si Visutikun, to prepare prior to the purification ceremony of His Majesty King, which will happen in a while. Then there will be the ablution. Another word in Thai is called Song Pramurata Pisek. When the presiding official, which is the Air Chief Marshal Satithpong Sukhvimol, the Lord Chamberlain, humbly asks for the permission to turn on the shower, sending water of purification over His Majesty for the ablution. The water of Benja Sutta Kongka coming from 5 rivers and 4 ponds. Then the Supreme Patriarch of Thailand, Somdet Pha Ariya Wongsa Katayan, will come forth to bestow benedictions by sprinkling Buddhist lustral water onto His Majesty's back. He then presents Buddhist lustral water into the hand of His Majesty. This is to be followed by His Serene Highness Prince Busan Sawadiwat to humbly offer holy water from Patao Benjakap, or the water vessel from King Rama V, into His Majesty's hands. Then His Serene Highness Prince Julajem Yukon to humbly offer lustral water from Patao Navakra to His Majesty, who upon receiving them pour the water onto his forehead. After that, the Chief Brahmin Priest of the Royal Court, Pamaha Rachakru Pitis Si Visutikun, will present holy water from the 9 deities to His Majesty from the water vessel. Then he will present His Majesty the holy water from the great conch shell. Later on, His Majesty will be presented with the bell leaf, which he will put behind his ear.
That's right, and you mentioned about the 5 main rivers and the 4 ponds used in the Song Pra Murata Pisek. These 5 main rivers originally were believed or used the waters used from the 5 main rivers.
Hi, this is Tony Cheng in Bangkok, reporting live for CGTN online, and we're here as close as we can get to Thailand's Grand Palace. This is the place where the ceremonies have already started for the coronation of King Maha Vajiralongkorn, and that is a very special event in Thailand. It hasn't happened for 70 years. That was the last time his father, King Bhumibol, was crowned. Now, King Maha Vajiralongkorn has been king for several years already, pretty much since his father died in 2016. But these are the formal ceremonies that mark his true ascension to the throne, and in some ways his divination. As part of these processes, he actually becomes a living god, according to Thai tradition. Now, how seriously people in Thailand take that or not is hard to say, but you can have a look here at some of the scenery in the background. We've got the great swing of Bangkok. This is one of the well-known signposts of the city in ancient times. This was the site of a game that was played where people would place a pot of gold up there on the arc of the swing and try and swing round to collect it. And of course behind it we've got one of Bangkok's very grand Buddhist temples. And today's ceremonies are going to be a curious mixture of Brahmanism, part of Thailand's Hindu heritage, and also Buddhist ceremonies. When they started at 10 a.m. local time about half an hour ago, we heard Buddhist monks chanting as the king arrived. And this is going to be the most significant of the ceremonies in this 3-day coronation. At the moment, the king is being prepared for a bathing ceremony. He's going to be washed in the waters, in sacred waters that have been collected from every province in Thailand. And last month, we went up to Chiang Rai, the northernmost province, to see that process underway. And on one of the mountains up there, in a well on the side of the mountain, we saw a very elaborate ceremony where palace officials collected an urn of water that was then very ornately packaged up and sent on the way to Bangkok. Now that's a process that's happened all across Thailand over the course of the past month. Those waters have been collected, and now the king will be bathed in them. And an official from the State Council explained to me the other day, the significance of this ceremony is that it's much more than one might imagine. This is where he actually becomes king. And water, as in a lot of Asian countries, is a very significant thing. He likened it to the point at which perhaps a Western monarch would have a crown placed upon his or her head, marking the exact moment at which they become king or queen. And that's what's going to be happening here. We think it'll be happening in about 20 minutes. We can see some officials here. We're standing outside the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. Everyone's in their full dress uniforms today. They're going off into the area around the Grand Palace, where there's very tight security today, and they will be part of the crowds. A lot of civil servants, a lot of soldiers, but today's activities are going to be relatively private. It is being televised so that people can watch around the country, but the invited guests are going to be civil servants, military officers, people of important social impact, I suppose. And then over the next 2 days, on Sunday and Monday, we'll see much more public processions around Bangkok. So people will get the opportunity to see their king for the first time in his full position. A little later today, he'll be presented with what's called the royal regalia. So he will get a crown and also a royal umbrella and a scepter. And these things will also mark his ascension, not just from the official state he has at the moment, which is king, head of state, but symbolically being the full king of Thailand. It's interesting also to look around Bangkok today. If we pan the camera around this way, we can see there are preparations being made for those public ceremonies that are going to take place in the next couple of days. But also there's a very relaxed look in other parts of Thailand. People, I think, who don't have immediate business with the palace, really using this 3-day holiday as a chance to get out of the sun. It is incredibly hot in Bangkok at the moment. 38 degrees at the moment, and that is expected to rise later on today into the 40s. Now that's going to be a problem for the ceremonial guard, who we've already seen standing to attention outside the Grand Palace. And as with many other ceremonial guards around the world at royal occasions, they are wearing these enormous bearskin hats like the Coldstream Guards in Great Britain. And that is going to be vicious in this heat. And those guys are going to be there all day. So it's going to be a very long and difficult day for them. But later on today, we're going to see King Vajiralongkorn welcoming diplomats and other foreign dignitaries to pay their respects to his new position as the official king. But again, as I was saying, around Bangkok, it's really quite hard to tell that something of this significance is going on. A lot of people staying away, aware of the fact that Thailand, that the centre of Bangkok is being closed off and under very tight security while this goes on. So Similarly, there hasn't been an awful lot of public discourse about this coronation. Thailand still enforces very strict laws about criticism of the royal family, and we've seen that particularly since the military coup. It's been a tool used by the military junta to target critics. And we've seen a number of people, in fact more than a number of people, we've seen quite a large number of people who have been targeted for their questioning or criticism possibly of the royal institution, and they've been punished with very lengthy jail sentences. So it does mean that there is a slightly stifled dialogue in the Thai public about these processes, and it's very hard for people to speak openly about their feelings about the royal family. That said, I think a lot of people are genuinely very interested. This is a process which hasn't happened for such a long time. And King Bhumibol, who died in 2016, who died as the longest reigning monarch in the world, really genuinely had a huge amount of affection amongst Thai people. And I think they're very interested to see what's going to happen under the reign of their next king. He is a man who certainly, well, to a certain extent, he's been quite hidden away from. He's lived a lot of his life away from the public, and still continues to travel widely, spending a lot of his time at his palace in Munich, in Germany. But now he has made that full ascension to the throne. Obviously, he will be expected to be here in Thailand a lot more, and a lot more present for the Thai people. Now, I'm going to hand you back, but you can continue watching the coronation on CGTN, where we will be following today's events and those of the next 2 days as this very symbolic and important ceremony for Thailand continues. I'm Tony Cheng in Bangkok.
Will be added on to his name to mark that he has now the full sovereign rights. His Majesty the King now will perform the purification process.
จากพระพุทธเจ้าและน้ำศักดิ์สิทธิ์ทั้งสามทั้งสี่สามพระพุทธเจ้าข้าขอรับด้วยเกล้าด้วยกระหม่อม
The purification ceremony is happening now prior to the anointment. Earlier, the presiding official, Air Chief Marshal Sathitphong Sukhvimol, the Lord Chamberlain, humbly asked for the permission to turn on the shower sending water of purification over His Majesty for the ablution. The water of Benja Sutta Kongkha coming from the 5 rivers and 4 ponds. Then the Supreme Patriarch Somdet Pha Ariya Wongsa Katayan came forth to bestow benedictions by sprinkling Buddhist lustral water onto His Majesty the King's back. He then presented Buddhist lustral water into the hands of His Majesty, and followed by His Serene Highness Prince Busan Sawadiwat to humbly offered holy water from Patao Benjaka from King Rama V, that is the water vessel's name, into His Majesty's hand. Then His Serene Highness Prince Julaterm Yukhon humbly offered lustral water from Patao Navakra to His Majesty. Now the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court, Pamaharachaku Pithi Si Visuddhikun, is presenting holy water from the 9 deities to His Majesty from Patao Benjakap. This is the water vessel, and presented the holy water from the great conch shell, Phet Yai, and the great conch shell, Phet Noi. There are several of the great conch shells that the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court, Pamaharachaku Pithi Si Visuddhikun, has presented to His Majesty the King.
And earlier we saw the presentation, as Dr. Woonkit mentioned, of the lustral water contained in the conch shells and poured over the hands of His Majesty. But before that, we saw His Majesty putting on the leaf of bare leaves between his earlobe and the temple to mark the auspices of the occasion. Bare leaves signifies victory and prosperity, to bring good health and happiness to the reign of His Majesty on this occasion.
Now His Serene Highness Prince Bikampon Yukhon is offering holy water from Patao Mongkon 8. And this is another water vessel from King Rama I.
His Majesty taking each water vessel one by one from His Serene Highness Tikampon Yukhon and pours over shoulders. These water vessels contain the waters collected throughout the country.
And this is from the water vessel called Patao Patum Nimit Ngan from King Rama I. Now this is a holy water from Patum Nimit Samlit water vessel also from King Rama I. Now is the green jade lotus water vessels from King Rama IV. Another one is the water vessel called Gleep Bodang. And this is another water vessel called Gleep Baw Yot Kieo from King Rama V. Patao Gleep Baw Yai, or the large lotus petal for the water vessel from King Rama IV. And this is from the water vessel from King Rama IV. Now is the water vessel also from King Rama IV called Hakasat Nak. This is another water vessel, Hakasat Ngun from King Rama IV. This is holy water from Patao Hakasat Samrit, also from King Rama IV. The water vessel called Patao Hakasat Hin On from King Rama IV.
And now Pratao Moradam, with the water being poured over the shoulders of His Majesty, and to the next water vessel called Pratao Namakra from King Rama IV era. The next is Pratao Grailat, also from King Rama IV era. All these water vessels contain the water from the 77 provinces. Pratao Sila Jarik Akson, King Rama IV, followed by Pratao Sila 5 chambers or Ha Hong from King Rama IV. And now to the last water vessel, Pratao Tewabit from King Rama IV, where His Majesty actually poured it over his legs and feet to complete the purification process on this occasion. All in all, 22 water vessels were used, deriving from various reigns of the Chakri dynasty from King Rama I right down to the present dynasty.
Yes, and now Air Chief Marshal Sathitphong Sukhvimol, the Lord Chamberlain, pay respect to His Majesty and ask for the permission to humbly offer the great conch shell Taksinawat. Is carried the Hindu lustral water before His Majesty pour the holy water. The purification or the ablution ceremony is happening prior to the anointment or the offering the abhisek water from the 8 representative of the 8 cardinal direction of the compass at the Atatit Utumpon Raja Asana throne. This will happen after the purification or Sompamurata ceremony.
And now His Majesty will return to Haisan Thaksin Throne Hall to continue with the ceremony of receiving the waters from the 8 cardinal directions. And at that very point of completion of that process, he will be fully vested as the King of Thailand with the full sovereign rights.
As you may see the bell leaf on the right hand side of His Majesty King's ear, according to the Brahmin faith, bell leaf is a symbol of the victorious strength and an auspicious item to accompany the sacred water of a Buddhist religious ceremony. The lustral water is contained within a conch shell to be presented to a king that we had just witnessed, to befitting the royal traditions. We talked about belief earlier. The importance of belief at present, when king presents a belief during auspicious royal ceremonies, such as today and also during other auspicious ceremonies. For example, during the royal plowing ceremony, when the monarch graciously pours sacred water from a conch shell upon and offers belief to the lord of the plowing. To Thai ambassadors, when they are granted an audience prior to leaving the kingdom to take up their diplomatic assignments abroad. And during such occasions, besides graciously pouring sacred water and offering belief contained within the conch shell to the recipients, he also anoints the foreheads of his subjects with fragrant powder. So when the person receives the belief with his right hand and tuck them between the right ear, lobe, and temple. So this is the meaning of belief, that this belief is the tradition that carried on in the Brahmin belief or faith. Now we back into the throne hall once again to prepare for another significant ceremony, which is the anointment or the offering abhisek water from the 8 representative of the 8 cardinal directions of the compass at the Atatit Utumpon Rajasana throne here, starting from the east side. Now that His Majesty will change into the regal vestment. Standing here are 8 representatives of the 8 cardinal direction of the compass, starting from His Serene Highness Prince Busan Sawadiwat. You may see him in a while as he enters the throne and proceed to the eastern direction. Then His Serene Highness Prince Mongkol Chalerm Yukon, and after that will be the Lieutenant General His Serene Highness Mom Jao Chalerm Suk Yukon from the southern side. Standing on the left-hand side.
And we also have other various officials besides the royal descendants.
Yes, as we are about to witness the anointment or abhisek water offering from the 8th representative of the 8 cardinal direction of the compass at the Atatit Utumpon Raja Asana throne here. Inside the Paisan Thaksin throne hall are also the members of the royal families.
In the 8 cardinal directions, since Dr. Rungtip mentioned some of the names already, the members of the royal descendants or the royal family participating in the pouring of the lustral water over the 8 cardinal directions. We also have other members of officials, namely General Prem Tinasuranon, the President of the Privy Council. We have General Prayut Chan-o-cha, the Prime Minister of Thailand. His Excellency Pornphet Vichit Chodlachai, the President of the National Legislative Assembly. His Excellency Chief Julamon, the President of the Supreme Court, as well as the Minister of Interior, General Anupong Paujinda, present to take part in the pouring of the lustral water over the hands of His Majesty.
Yes, there are altogether 8 representatives of the 8 cardinal directions of the compass at the Atatit Utumporn Raja Asana throne. There's the 8 persons include His Serene Highness Pusan Sawadiwat from the eastern direction, His Serene Highness Mongkon Chalerm Yukon from the southeastern direction, His Serene Highness Lieutenant General Chalerm Suk Yukon from the southern direction, His General Prem Tinasuranon, President of the Privy Council from the southwestern direction, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, the Prime Minister of Thailand from the western direction, President of the National Legislative Assembly, Pornphet Vichit Chodlachai from the northwestern direction, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Chief Julamon from the northern direction, and Dr. Professor Jarat Suwarnawela, the Royal Scholar from the northeastern direction. So these are the 8 representatives representing people from across the country of Thailand to participate in the anointment or the water offering or abhisek water offering from the 8 representative of the 8 cardinal direction of the compass at the Atatit Utumporn Raja Asana throne. Another symbol that represents our kingship or the monarch is the 9-tier white umbrella of state, which will be presented later after the anointment ceremony by the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court, Pamaharajaku Piti Sri Visuddhikun, also standing, awaits His Majesty the King to arrive.
And of course, according to the tradition, after the anointment ceremony, the king will be fully vested with the authorities and become the full sovereign right, or will have the full sovereign rights of his reign. And we mentioned earlier that since King Rama IV, he added on another event, which is the presentation of the resemble the procedure or the ceremony that's often taken place in the Western world when the monarchy is presented with the crown and put on his head. Then that process is considered to be the completion of the coronation ceremony. So King Rao IV added that Western tradition. Is anointed or presented with the lustral water and receives the 9-tiered umbrella, then he's considered the fully vested monarch of the Kingdom of Thailand.
Yes, and now we're seeing the chat or the tiered umbrella. This is an item of the royal regalia in the shape of a tiered umbrella that tapers towards the top. This can be hanging, standing, or fixed in the ground, or carried in a procession to indicate rank. This is the highest rank, which is this is for the king. The king will use a 9-tiered umbrella of state, which is called Noppapadon Mahasawetachat. This is for the king. Border with 3 rows of gold rim. The low the ceremony of white umbrella of state quite often, and later on the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court, Pamaharajaku Pithi Sivisitikun, will later present the 9-tiered white umbrella of state or Noppapadon Mahasawetachat to His Majesty the King. That is to complete the kingship will be recognized as a fully vested monarch.
And as of this moment, we are watching Pratinang Atatit Utumpon Rajaat, or the Atatit Utumpon Rajaat throne, surrounded by officials and royal descendants. And at the center of this throne is the 7-tiered umbrella, just before he receives the 9-tiered umbrella after the anointment. The 7-tiered umbrella is located at the center of this throne, and the throne is actually made of fig wood, because fig is considered by the Brahmins as being auspicious, the wood of auspices and of good fortune. The throne is an octagonal shape and situated to the eastern part of the Paisan Thaksin throne hall. This unusually shaped by a white 7-tiered umbrella. It is used during the first part of the coronation ceremony, where the king is anointed with holy water. Once the king is anointed, he is able to sit on the 9-tiered umbrella. Located at Pratinang Patarabit or Patarabit throne, located just across the hallway to the other side of this Paisan Thaksin throne hall. And once he receives the water and the process of pouring the lustral waters is completed, then the king will move to Patarabit throne, where he will sit under the 9-tiered umbrella. and at that point he will be announced with the full sovereign rights as the King of Thailand. Now, across the room to the other side of this throne hall is located Patrabit throne. The throne is a chair where a footstool, or with a footstool with two high tables to its sides. The throne is topped by another royal nine-tiered umbrella. This throne is used during the main part of the coronation ceremony, as I indicated earlier, that once His Majesty receives the lustral water, he will then move to this throne and be seated there. Then he will be presented with various objects which make up the royal regalia. The king will then crown himself, then be ceremonially presented with objects of the regalia by the royal Brahmins. And these regalia includes the great crown of victory, the sword of victory, the royal staff, the royal fly whisk, the royal fan, and the royal slippers, the Benjapan in Thai.
To arrive. The 8 cardinal direction of the compass here, starting from the east side, while the king will sit at the Untitled Chapter Raja Asana throne with the Savetachat or the 7-tiered umbrella. The king then faced the eastern direction as the primary cardinal direction of the compass. Then the representative of the members from 8 representatives will humbly offer the abhisek water as part of the anointment. The sequence will be when starting from the eastern side, from His Serene Highness Busan Sawadiwat, followed by the His Serene Highness Mongkon Chalerm Yukhon from the southeastern direction. Then His Serene Highness Lieutenant General Chalerm Sut Yukhon from the southern direction. After that will be the General Prem Dinasuranon, President of the Privy Council from the southwestern direction. Next is General Prayut Chan-o-cha, Prime Minister of Thailand from the western direction, followed by President of the National Legislative Assembly Ponpet Vichit Cholachai from northwestern direction, and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court Chief Julamon in the northern direction, and Professor Emeritus Jarat Suvarnavera, the royal scholar, from northeastern direction. We are waiting here to the auspicious time to start the anointment or the abhisek water, which will be offered from the 8 representatives of the 8 cardinal directions of the compass at the Untitled Chapter Raja Asana throne here in a moment.
And besides the 8 cardinal directions that His Majesty will receive the anointment waters from, he will also repeat one more direction, which is the eastern direction, one more time, and receive the anointment water from General Anupong Paujinda, the Minister of Interior. This 9th occasion, the 9th iteration of receiving the anointment water, will represent the direction to the heavenly abode, or the heaven direction, where His Majesty the King is believed to be the incarnation of God, and of course the receiving of the water in this ninth direction will represent the receiving of water in the heavenly abode or the heavenly residence of King. So that will complete the process of all 9 directions, besides the 8 cardinal directions. We'll add on another direction representing the heavenly abode in the sky to mark the occasion that not only His Majesty will be the ruler of earth, but he will also be the ruler of the sky as well. And obviously the Brahmin priests are now waiting, holding in their hands the conch shells containing the lustral water to be poured over the hands of His Majesty. The Thai tradition is so intertwined with Brahmanism and Buddhism altogether, and is a perfect blend of the 2 religions. It's commonly practiced both at the royal court ceremonies and also in the common way of life of the Thai people. The 2 religions have somehow smoothly blended together to form the way of life of the Thai people. If one ever has any opportunity to observe any Thai rituals, be they in the royal court or in the palace or in the ordinary way of life of Thai people, one would observe the mixture or the blend of Buddhism and Brahmanism together in the tradition or in the rituals that are practiced by the general public.
The sequence of the anointment, as mentioned earlier, also will followed by the Brahmin, the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court, who will humbly offer the Brahmin holy water from the eastern direction after the circumambulated around the 8 cardinal directions of the compass. And His Majesty the King will turn his face into the clockwise direction to receive the holy water. He then be presented Nopapadon Mahasawetachat, or the 9-tiered white umbrella of state that signifies the kingship, and to complete the process of to be the fully invested monarch. Here in the hall is part of the Papahamontian group, which were built in 1785. Papahamontian group consists of different residences and halls Paisan Thaksin Throne Hall contains, among the other things, the octagonal throne, the Atatit Utumporn Throne Hall, where His Majesty King to be presented with the anointment water from the selected persons representing the 8 directions of the compass, and the Patarabit throne, from which he will receive the royal golden plaque and of his official title, the official of the royal regalia, and the ancient and auspicious orders, and the weapons of sovereignty. The king will also crown himself with a great crown of victory at this throne. The great crown of victory is part of the royal regalia. Here at the Paisan Thaksin Throne Hall, the hall is located between the front audience hall of Chakrabat Biman Royal Residence and the Amarintra Vinishai Throne Hall. The building has the structure of a long, open, elevated room facing east and west.
Now, looking at the items of high orders, which His Majesty, once he arrived to this throne hall, he first came to pay respect to, containing Buddha images and the images of the Brahmin gods, the Hindu gods, the Ganesh, as well as other items of personal belongings containing things like the Great Crown of Victory, the Sword of Victory, the Royal Fly Whisk, the Royal Slippers, as well as other swords passed on from various reigns of Chakri dynasty in the background there.
Yes, the royal regalia, or the เครื่องราชกกุฏภัณฑ์ the Benja Rashakakuttapan consists of first one is the royal regalia is a symbol of being the king. In other perception, the royal regalia were treated as an identification of royal dignity. 5 royal possessions are called Benja Rashakakuttapan. Since the Sukhothai period, the royal possessions have been collected, as we may be able to see now on the left hand side, placed in the pavilion. On the right hand side, far back, is the Pamahapichai Mongkut, or the royal crown. This royal accessory was made during the reign of King Rama I, inlaid with gold and studded with 9 precious gemstones. The biggest one is embedded on top. The royal crown means the crown of the days in heaven, where God Indra, the ruler of the second heaven, Dawdung. In ancient time, the royal crown was as significant as other regalia. Later, King Rama IV decided to follow the rule of the European royal household. A dignity of the king was recognized when he was wearing a crown. Since then, the royal crown has become the most important among all the royal regalia. Another item of the Benja Rashakakuttapan, or the royal regalia, is the royal sword, the weapon of the king. Pakhan, or the sword, means wisdom in governing the country. The story has been told that the sword was found at the very bottom of the Khmer Lake in Siem Reap before being brought to Thailand, and that's why the names of both entrances of the Grand Palace ended with the word Chai Si as the name of the royal sword. Another item of the royal regalia, of the 5 royal regalia items, is called the royal cane, or Than Pakron. originally called Thaiprakon Chayapruk, as a cane was made of the Chayapruk wood or the Cassia nadasa, covered with gold, cast iron, and gold embedded at both head and tail. The cane looks like a walking stick used by Buddhist monk in a ceremonial rite. The fourth item of the royal regalia is called Vamvishani or the royal fan. Vamvishani has been used as both a fan and a whisk. In an ancient explanation, Vamvishani has been called Jamon, a whisk made of tails hair of Jamari. Vamvishani was originally made of palm leaf. King Rama IV considered that Vamvishani, the word Van means cow's hair, called Jamari. Therefore, the king had a whisk made of the hair of Jamari, while the handle was made of glass. The whisk was used together with Vamvishani fan, which was made of palm leaf. Handle and other parts were gold inlaid. The last item of the Benja Rachakakudapan, or the 5 items of the royal regalia, is the royal arch footwear, or Charong Phabat Cherngon. The royal arch footwear originally came from glass footwear, which means land under the Prasimen mountain, and where all people dwell. King Rama first had the royal arch footwear made as part of royal regalia, following an ancient Indian style.
Now, we did talk about the blend of Buddhism and Brahmanism together to form this perfect integral part of the Thai tradition. I'd like to emphasize on the importance of Brahmanism in the practice of the royal court. And of course, the Brahmanism has been passed on from centuries through the generations on the reigns of the kings of Thailand. And Brahmanism has become an integral part of the Thai society and a complementary part, in fact, in parallel fashion with Buddhism. The Brahmanism actually has the place at the spiritual heart of Thailand, dating back to the very beginnings of statehood, and their influence is inextricably bound up with that of the national faith, which is Buddhism. More than 95% of the Thai population is Buddhist in practice as well as name, and the religion is one of the society's most cohesive and stabilizing forces, Buddhism that is. And yet Buddhism has historically been a tolerant creed, and other doctrines have also been allowed the freedom of expression in Thailand, where today numerous minority religions are practiced as well, such as Islam, Hinduism, Taoism, various Christian denominations, and others. Among these minority religions are Brahmanism, and which is the ancient religion of India and the forerunner of both Hinduism and Buddhism. Numerically, it is the smallest of the minority faiths in Thailand. In influence and meaning, it is of the highest importance. Because of this, Brahmanism can scarcely be compared with other faiths. In its strict form, it may be professed and practiced by a few, lay and ordained alike, yet its function underpins all important royal ceremonies as well as many of the beliefs that direct the daily lives of ordinary folk. And today there are just 10 Brahmin priests in Bangkok who are attached to the royal household and whose spiritual home and physical abode in some cases is the capital's one Brahmin temple. The Tewasathan temple is located in the heart of Bangkok, and this is where the Brahmin priests reside. So a very important religion if you like, Brahmanism, which blends in really well with the practice observed by the royal court.
Well, even though in most countries the most important act in the coronation of monarch is when the crown is being placed on the head, however in Thailand, follow the Brahmin and Buddhist traditions as Captain Surachan mentioned, the heart of the ritual is mainly water-based, and there are two steps which are the purification bath known as Songpamuratapisek or ablution that we have just witnessed, and another one is the anointing, which is about to happen in a moment. The anointing with sacred water or the abhisek water is the act of pouring the water as from the 8 representative of the 8 cardinal directions starting from the east side, and the series of ceremonies when His Majesty the King will formally ascend to the throne will also finish with when the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court present His Majesty the King the 9-tiered white umbrella of state, which symbolizes the kingship. In a moment, the anointment or the abhisek, offering the water from the 8 representative of the 8 cardinal direction of the compass at the Atatit Utumporn Raj Asana throne will start, and it will start from the east side. In a moment, His Majesty the King will arrive, changing to the regal vestment, which is the elaborate, highly decorated, traditional Thai costume, which is composed of a golden embroidered jacket and traditional silk shirt, and later on His Majesty will sit to graciously receive the abhisek water from the 8 representative of the compass here at the Atatit Utumporn Raja Asana in Paisan Thaksin front hall. The orders from the east direction, the eastern direction, is His Serene Highness Pusan Sawadiwat. On the eastern direction, then His Serene Highness Mongkol Chalerm Yukhon. In the southeastern direction, followed by His Serene Highness Lieutenant General Chalerm Suk Yukhon from southern direction. After that, General Prem Dinasulanon, the President of the Privy Council, from the southwestern direction. Next would be General Prayut Chan-o-cha, the Prime Minister of Thailand, offering the abhisek water from the western direction. And then the President of the National Legislative Assembly, Ponpet Vichit Chomachai, from the northwestern direction, and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Chief Julamon, from the northern direction, and the Professor Emeritus Jalat Suvarnavela, the Royal Scholar, from the northeastern direction.
That would cover all the 8 directions and one additional direction, which is the direction considered to be from the above or the heavenly abode, and that will have General Anupong Paujinda, the Minister of Interior, to pour the lustral water over the hands of His Majesty, and that will actually take place in the same cardinal direction of His Serene Highness Admiral Busan Swadiwat as well in the eastern direction. So that will make up all the 8 directions plus one additional direction from the north or from the above, having the Minister of Interior, General Onapong Haojinda, to pour the lustral waters over his hands. And of course this is a great angle, great camera angle, seeing the 2 thrones in the picture here with the Atatit Utumporn Raja'at, or the throne of octagonal shape, as well as the Patrabit throne in the background there. And now moving on to another great camera angle of Amarintra Vinichai Throne Hall, where other representatives are seated to take part in this ceremony as well. In the front there, the 2 chairs are the royal chairs of their majesties, the king and queen, where they will be seated to receive the audience of the attendants or the participants attending this coronation of King Rama X. And just behind the royal chairs there, you see the pavilion and raised on a high base. That pavilion houses Buddha statue, where His Majesty, when he first arrived, also paid respect to the Buddha statue before the procedure of the ablution and of course the anointment ceremony began just early this morning.
In Thailand, the water, or the holy water, the lustral water, taken from various important sources of water, are very important and is considered as a significant part of the coronation of King Rama X. That's followed the tradition of Brahmin and Buddhist rites. Earlier, during the month of April, there were the ceremonies to collect water from 5 different rivers in Thailand, and also from 4 ponds to be consecrated, as well as the water from, altogether there are water from 108 sources across the Kingdom of Thailand to be consecrated and then transfer to the Ministry of Interior in Bangkok. And later on, the water was also consecrated in Bangkok at Wat Sutat, which is the one of Bangkok's oldest temple and most important temple, for a final consecration ceremony. Then this water was transferred in a procession from Wat Sutat to be kept at the temple of the Emerald Buddha, to be used for during the purification and abhisek, or the anointment ceremony today. Another preparation also took place as the inscription of the royal golden plaque and of His Majesty's official title and His Majesty royal golden plaque of the seal were made at the temples of the Emerald Buddha before being transferred here as part of the royal items or the items of high nobilities for His Majesty the King.
And in this Amarintra Vinichai throne hall, I mentioned earlier, the pavilion that houses the Buddha statues representing the reigns of different kings of the Chakri dynasty. The back of the hall is Butsabok Mala Maha Chakrabat Biman. This is a very unusually shaped throne which houses the Buddha images, and this throne is flanked by two gilded seven-tiered umbrellas. The throne is shaped like a boat with a spy pavilion in the middle. This elevated pavilion represents Mount Meru, the center of Buddhist and Hindu cosmology. The throne is decorated with colored enamels and stones, as well as Deva Garuda figures. The throne was once used for giving royal audiences. This very unusually shaped throne of a boat is another significant throne. And of course, the decoration around it, both at the base of the throne and also in the actual pavilion which houses the Buddha statues, are so immaculate and beautifully done by the craftsmen. And in the background, just behind the throne, you can see the Brahmin priests waiting in the Paisan Taksin throne hall, which is the adjacent building to this Amarintra Vinichai throne hall. Now, to the front of that throne sits another Puttan Kanchana Singhat. This is the throne topped by the massive royal nine-tiered umbrella, an important symbol of Thai kingship. The different tiers represents the king's power and prestige, which extends in 8 directions, the 4 cardinal directions and the 4 sub-cardinal directions. And the final and the 9th tier represents the central direction, descending into the earth. These giant umbrellas usually deposited above important royal thrones, and out of the 7 of which are currently in Bangkok, 6 of these umbrellas are situated within the vicinity of the Grand Palace, and another is situated above the throne within the Anantasamakom throne hall of the Dusit Palace. The throne is made up of multi-layered squared platforms with a seat in the middle. The throne is used for the first royal audience of each king's reign and for annual birthday celebrations and other royal receptions. It was from this throne that King Rama II received John Crawford, the first British envoy to Siam in almost 200 years ago in 1821. So another important item for the Amarintra Vinichai throne hall. Now a closer look at the Buddha images housed in the Butsabok Mala Maha Chakrabat Biman throne, representing the reigns of each king of the Chakri dynasty.
The abhisek water, or the water to be anointed today, is a sacred water which was collected since April the 6th from 5 main rivers referred to as Benja Sutta Kongkha, representing 5 rivers in India, or the 5 pure streams. Here we use 5 rivers, include Bangpakong, Pasak, Chao Phraya, and Ratchaburi, Phetchaburi province. Water also taken from 4 sacred ponds from Suphanburi province. And later on, this consecrated water used during the purification contained in water vessels. And this water to be used during the anointment are drawn from 177 or 108 sources from all provinces throughout the Kingdom of Thailand. And in a moment, after the anointment, the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court will humbly present the king with the Nopapadon Mahasavetashat, the 9-tiered white umbrella of state, to symbolize kingship. And this is for a king who has been ceremonially crowned. It is a 9-tiered white umbrella made of white cloth. Each tier is bordered with 3 rows of gold trim. Now the representative from various sectors represents Thai people are standing, awaiting for the moment that His Majesty King will arrive at the Tit Utumpon throne to start the anointment ceremony or the offering of the Abhisek water from the 8 representative of the 8 cardinal directions of the compass at the Atatit Utumpon throne, and later will be the presentation of the royal throne and the royal regalia. The king will then rest in regal vestment, which is the elaborate and highly decorated traditional Thai costume. And this is composed of a golden embroidered jacket with traditional silk shirt.
Of course, standing, awaiting for the arrival of His Majesty the King from Prasulai Piman chamber are the officials and the royal descendants representing people from all walks of life, and they will conduct the pouring of the water over the hands of His Majesty in all 8 directions, and one additional direction in the central direction to be done by the Minister of Interior, General Anupong Paujinda, to represent the heavenly abode. This practice or the event that is about to take place here is very symbolic to represent the power and the sovereign rights of His Majesty, which will cover in all 8 directions throughout the nation, throughout the kingdom, including the 9th direction, which comes from the heavenly abode. As I mentioned earlier, that obviously the king is believed to be the reincarnation of the God from heavenly abode, so he is representing as the ruler of both land and heaven as well. So 9 directions or 9 places that he would cover his reign over the territory.
Standing, waiting are the representative representing Thai people. Here on the eastern direction is His Serene Highness Pusan Sawadiwat. Next, in the southeastern direction is His Serene Highness Mongkol Chalerm Yukhon. From the southern direction is His Serene Highness Lieutenant General Chalerm Suk Yukhon.
Now His Majesty arrives and will take the seat on the Atatit Utumpon Raj'at throne. And now we'll begin the process of pouring the lustral waters in 8 cardinal directions, as well as the central direction above. Of having His Serene Highness Admiral Busan Sawadiwat begin the process of pouring the lustral water over the hands of His Majesty in the eastern direction. And then he will move to the clockwise direction, which is considered to be the auspicious direction, all around the 8 directions, and then finish off the process of pouring the water with the Minister of Interior, General Onupong Pamchinda, to represent the central direction from Heavenly Abode.
Chief Brahmin priest of the Royal Court, พระมหาราชครูพิธีศรีวิสุทธิคุณ offer the lustral water and the bay leaf as King tucked the bay leaf on the right, his right ear. Next direction, while His Majesty the King turned clockwise, is His Serene Highness Mongkol Chalerm Yukon from the southeastern direction.
And of course the sequence will follow suit with the chief of the Brahmin priests pouring the blessed or the lustral water for His Majesty the King to anoint over his forehead.
His Majesty then turned to the southern direction. His Serene Highness Lieutenant General Chalerm Sakyukon humbly offer the lustral water to His Majesty the King.
So we just had the President of the Privy Council, General Frame Kinasulahanon, offering or pouring of the lustral water into the container received by His Majesty the King. And now moving on to the Prime Minister of Thailand, General Prayut Chan-o-cha.
Offer the ablution water to His Majesty the King on the western direction. Of the National Legislative Assembly, Thongpet Vichitchorchai, Assembly offer the ablution water from the western side of the direction of the compass at the Atatit Utumpon throne.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, His Excellency Chief Julamon, now presenting or offering water to His Majesty.
Professor Emeritus Jarat Suwarnavela, the Royal Scholar, humbly offer ablution water from the northeastern direction.
Now General Anupong Palchinda, Minister of Interior, offering the lustral water to represent the central direction or the heavenly abode. So that would cover all 9 directions altogether, 8 on land and 1 from the heavenly abode of pouring the lustral waters, and to conclude with the offering of the lustral water by the chief Brahmin priest.
พระกรุณาพระราชทานพระบรมราชพระบรมราชแก่ข้าพเจ้าด้วยเถิดได้โปรดรับทราบเมื่อข้าพเจ้ามีพระบรมราชาพระผู้มีพระภาคเป็นนำมาสร้างขอถวายพระบรมราชนี้ขอเป็นแต่พระบาทสมเด็จพระเจ้าอยู่หัวบรมราชพระราชอาณาจักรข้าพเจ้าข้าพเจ้าทั้งหลายทั้งอาณาประชาราษฎร์ทรงบรมราชทรงจัดการคุ้มครองท่านเป็นความสุขของพระองค์
The chief Brahmin priest of the royal court, พระมหาราชครูพิธีศรีวิสุทธิคุณ presented the 9-tiered white umbrella of state to His Majesty the King. This is the Nopapadon Mahasabetachat, the 9-tiered white umbrella of state, signifies king who has been ceremonially crowned and now is considered after receiving the 9-tier white umbrella of state. His Majesty is fully invested monarch of the Kingdom of Thailand. This is the most significant ceremony among the coronation of King Rama X.
Now moving from the Atatit Utumporn Raja throne, which actually has the 7-tiered umbrella. Now His Majesty will move to Patarabit throne, where the 9-tiered umbrella is located. So he's now fully vested as the King of Thailand, having the 9-tiered umbrella above him. So according to the ancient tradition, this is the process that all Thais have been eagerly waiting for the king to be fully crowned as the King of Thailand. And now he will be presented with the lustral water, as well as the royal regalia and the items for the king.
Now that the chief Brahmin priest of the royal court, พระมหาราชครูพิธีศรีวิสุทธิคุณ is starting another procedure, which is the mantra to praise, signifies the opening of the Kailat mountain that consider the heaven abode, as now the king is considered as the incarnation of Vishnu. As we mentioned earlier, that the ceremony is being followed of the intermingle of Buddhism and Hinduism.
Mount Grailat, or another name of Sumen.
ธรรมสารเนคาติโลสารเนคาติสัมรัมสารเนวานิคุยามภาคาโอวิชัยไทยมหาเทมหาพยาสะปาติมหาพยาสนะโตปาติเนนาสนะคณารายะปริยมาระโตปริยมาสุปริกขันตุมปริหารันโตทัพเยภกุมปริภกุมปริบิดัญญาเนญาเนสัตตรูนาสัมนาสัมภัยยะสัมภัยยะมุหัยมุหัยยะกันนะอินเนอินเนอุนทาเรเนเตรจัตุวัตเรดัสิระเมาสินเตรวะเรมุขัตรัตระมัตถะตุนสังสัทธาเตรรมัสตุวินาศนังหริโอมสวัสดินาถปตินาถบรมราชาปฏิปาตาปะกราทุขันโดสุจามิกระปตัมระสัมภาบภารัมระสัมภาธิโรริธิโรรักยักษาประทมยักมริกธานุสาโทจันโมทโกทิวาทิวาโสมนโชทโตโชทตาเนตนานาจันมะตะโกทวาทิวาโสมนโชทตาหิงคาเฮลาธิรามทิวิจิติยามปรานิคุมปรานิขันสัตติทัตบุญปรานิขกรณิชแนพระจันละโคระขันปรินามันดราวิเกพระมานะอุราสวาอิสวาสุสุนาคิริติสัตราสัตนายเนหริโอมพระมานสมิไรรักทิตาตาปรมาราสีมาพระบาทของเราขมพระพุทธเจ้าขอถวายชัยขอสมเด็จพระเจ้าอยู่หัวพระปรเมนทรรามาธิบดีศรีสินธรมหาวชิราลงกรณ์พระวชิรญาณเกล้าเจ้าขอทรงรับพระมหาสิริราชสมบัติถวายราชสมบัติขอจงทรงแผ่ปกครองทั่วปัตภีดลขอจงทรงชำนะอริราชดัตกรทุกเมื่อเดินโดยกล่าวโดยกระหม่อมขอเดชะ
เราจะสื่อสารภาษาและยอดและความแผ่นดินโดยทำเพื่อประโยชน์สุขแห่งอาณาราษฎรตลอดไป
ข้าพระพุทธเจ้าขอรับพระบรมราชโองการปฐมธรรมิกราชวาจาด้วยกราบด้วยกระหม่อมขอเดชะ
ขอเดชะฝ่าละอองธุลีพระบาทปกเกล้าปกกระหม่อมประกาศสถาปนาสมเด็จพระนางเจ้าสุธิดาพัชรสุธาพิมลลักษณ์พระบรมราชินีพระบาทสมเด็จพระปรเมนทรรามาธิบดีศรีสินมหาวชิราลงกรณ์มหิศร